Hello everyone, welcome to part 1 of my very first YouTube video on this channel. We're going to be playing Borderlands 1, and I'm just going to jump right on into it. I'm going to let you guys hear the intro, but I'm going to cut off the Ain't No Rest for the Wicked song so we don't get DMCA'd. And let's do it.
So, you want to hear a story, huh? One about treasure hunters. Have I got a story for you? Pandora. This is our home, but make no mistake, this is not a planet of peace and love. They say it's a wasteland, that it's dangerous, that only a fool would search for something of value here. Then perhaps I am a fool. But do not be fooled by what Pandora appears to be. There was a legend. Many people tell it. The legend of the Vault. My father would always go on about the Vault, even with his dying breath. Advanced alien technology, infinite wealth, fame, power, women. So you can understand why some little kiddos who hear the stories grow up to become Vault hunters. Well, I have a story you may not believe, but I tell you it is true. The legend of the Vault is real, and it is here on Pandora. And let's call it a guardian angel, appeared to guide the Vault hunters to their prize. The tale begins right here on Pandora with the brave Vault hunters, the guardian angel, and most importantly, me.
Alright, like I said, we're cutting off that song. But we're going to be picking Roland here. I'm going to pick him pretty quick just so we don't have to listen to Marcus's banter. And I'll explain how the game works and what the other characters there would do, and why we picked Roland specifically. I'm going to try to be quiet during some of this exposition stuff, though, obviously, so people who haven't played the game can hear.
You don't have any reason to trust me, but I need you to believe that I'm here to guide you. I'm here to help you find the vault. In a moment, you'll be greeted by a funny little robot. Do everything he says. You'll know what I mean when it happens. I'll contact you again soon.
Well, we're here. Don't worry about saying goodbye. I'm sure we'll be doing this all again soon enough. Get off my bus.
See you next time.
Ooh, we're going to have to change that sensitivity or I'm going to be spinning all over the place. 1 second, guys. Let's drop it down to here.
Welcome to Firestone.
Yeah, it's a little better, yeah.
I am CL4PTP. You may call me by my locally designated name, Claptrap. Before continuing, please accept this Echo communication device and heads-up display, provided free of charge by the Doll Corporation.
Well, thank you. Annoying little trash can looking robot. I've definitely played the game before. I know who Claptrap is. I'm not going to pretend I haven't. I just like to talk back to my games, which is why I decided to get into this in the first place, because I already kind of talk to myself while I play anyway, so
your Echo device is fully functioning.
why not?
This way, please.
Why not make content while I do it, right? So I'm going to follow him to here. I'm going to get him to go forward towards that first, and then we're going to go over here, and we're actually going to pick up this weapons crate on top of this building. There's usually nothing good in there, but there is the potential for there to be something great in there. For those of you who've never played Borderlands or don't even know what it is a looter shooter, and this is one of the first that ever was. So the concept behind it is that there are going to be hundreds of guns dropping every hour. We're going to have tons of opportunity to, you know, change up the guns we're playing with, the different types. It's very rare that you pick up a single gun and then use that same gun for, you know, the entirety of the game. We're going to get ourselves colored in here.
When you use this device, your
Not that it matters because we're not really going to see ourselves, but
and store. Please
yeah. So I always like to check that out in case there's something cool up there. There very, very rarely is, but you know. Let's go all purple. Purple's my favorite color, and we're going to be Barney. Let's change this to green to really fit the Barney theme. All right.
now that your DNA is registered, you
So yeah, if you never played a looter shooter, the idea is that there are going to be, every time we kill enemies, open crates, there are going to be tons of guns dropping, and those guns are super, super customized. So there's lots of different stats that can be different on the guns. You'll never pick up the same gun twice, essentially. And it lets you really specialize the type of loadout that you have, and there's a bunch of different things that can be on them, whether it's just increased damage, increased accuracy, or things like certain elements, or, you know, a scope or not scoped.
Oh no, not again!
So we start out with this very basic gun that we have here, this machine gun, but we're going to get into much better guns as the game goes on. So I know that he did the little intro exposition, so you kind of know why we're here. But just to clarify, we are vault hunters. We are on the world of Pandora, and we are looking for the mystical vaults, which are said to be filled with, you know, magnificent, you know, treasures and money, and anyone who finds it is going to basically become a living god within the world, right? So we are here to find that and take what's inside of it. I did say I would explain why we took this specific character, and I totally will, but it's going to have to wait until we get our special ability. Oh, wow. This gun is so inaccurate. It's going to have to wait until we get our special ability, because it'll make more sense once you see what Roland does specifically. And if you've played the game before, you know what Roland does. You may have an idea why I wanted to take Roland in the first place. So once we hit level 5, we will unlock Roland's special ability, and every level after that we'll get an extra point to fill in a skill tree. This gun is awesome. If you don't like the weapon that you started with, I'm actually going to equip it really quick. Because the scope is nice. So critical hits in this game are super important. You know, obviously doing tons of damage. So having a scope where you can accurately ding someone in the head is just really good early on. I usually hold on to this pistol until we get the lady finger, which will come probably at the end of this episode. This isn't a speed run. I'm not pretending to be the best at this game or anything, but I have played this game a fair number of times, and it's why I wanted to make this the first game that I played for my channel, is because I feel like it will let me focus on the entertaining side of this, as opposed to just, you know, figuring out how to play the game and all that. It'll let me kind of mindlessly go through it. My plan is actually to play through, in this order, Borderlands 1, 2, pre-sequel 3, and then Tiny Tina's Wonderland, essentially playing through all of them in the Borderlands universe, except for the Tales from the Borderlands games, because those are a very different style of game that I'm not necessarily against, but I just don't really want to play. I don't think it would be very interesting for me to play. I know I talked about getting crits with this, and now I'm just shooting them in the bodies, but...
Excellent. I knew you were the right choice, friend. Now go. I'll contact you again soon.
People of Firestone.
Citizen of Firestone! There is no cause for alarm! This new visitor has resolved the problem!
Well, shoot, I thought I was a goner that time. Damn bandits won't leave us alone. Had to lock the place up tight. I'll let you in. Come on. Damn it. Blasted
I do love this game, and this game made some very significant changes to the world of video gaming. First off, the art style. This is not the first game to go with a cel-shaded art style, and that's why this has such a unique look to it. That's the art style that is cel-shaded, but it is, I think, the first mainstream game to do it. Hello, Zed. That's what gives it its almost
Thanks for opening
living
her up
comic
again.
book feel almost. That's the best way I can describe it in terms of something else. Is it feels like a comic book come to life.
Now I keep the med vendors around here
Oh,
up and
what?
running.
Why does it have times two?
All the healing you could ever want
We're gonna check
from
it
a
out.
real doc. Thankfully,
Probably just shoots 2 bullets at a time.
Please
I don't know.
follow me, and I'll open the gate for you.
Yeah, he wants me to go kill some skags. Skags are the, like, rabid, wild dogs of the game. They just don't look like dogs, which is great because I can't stand when dogs die in anything. And if I had to kill dogs in this game, I probably would not have played this game when I was younger, originally. Whenever I watch movies that have a dog as like one of the, the family's dog or a main character, I actually have to look at a website called doesthedogdie.com to find out if that dog is going to live through the movie. Because if the dog is not going to live through the movie, I either need to know ahead of time or I need to just not watch the movie. Oh, hello.
Looks like you got under 9-toe skin. Don't worry.
All right.
He'll get
We'll
what's
pick him up.
coming to him.
Oh my god, I'm leaking.
You did it! I knew you were the right choice. Oh, the poor little robot needs our help. Would you kindly give him a hand?
I want to say no. It'd be funny if you could somehow continue on with the game and leave Claptrap just laying there forever.
Why don't you look around for something to fix him up?
Alright, I usually run through this game jumping. It doesn't actually save any time or speed anything up, it's just a habit I have. I'm going to try not to do it though because he grunts every time he jumps and lands, and I just don't want you guys to have to hear the over and over again as I jump around the map, so I will try to get in the habit of not doing that. Some of you familiar with Borderlands may wonder why I'm not playing the Enhanced Edition, because there is a Enhanced Edition of the game that you get as long as you had the game in the first place. The reason for that is it is horribly unoptimized. To the point where I actually tried to record a video earlier today in that one instead. I was going to, play that one. And the lag and just the frame rate drops were so horrific that I can't do it. So we're playing the non-enhanced edition. There's really no difference. There's some very small things that honestly don't make a big difference to me.
What can I do for you?
Mostly the art style or the graphics being a little better, which I actually think, yeah, this is very old looking, but because it's such a stylized art style, because it is so specific and unique, I think it still looks great. If they were going for like a super hyper realistic or a semi-realistic art style, with this game coming out in 2009, I believe, it would probably look pretty bad. But because they went with such a unique art style here, it did work out pretty well, longevity-wise. Sorry, I'm just getting through these early quests really fast. I have played these early quests, gotta be upwards of 100 times. I'm one of those people that restarts games like this all the time, because I like the potential of what your character could be with your skills. So this game, Skyrim, I restart. I don't think I ever got past like level 15 in Skyrim because I just kept restarting because I kept thinking like, wait a minute, what if I made a character that did this? I forgot to put this in here and buy a shield.
I keep the medical equipment working. Think I might not have
Let's go kill some bandits.
People don't yet trust you. If you're going to ever find the vault, you'll need the aid of the people. Helping Dr. Zed with his 9-toes problem is a good move.
We're gonna remap a key really quick. I like to put my melee attack, see it's on V, I like to put it on my mouse button instead. So that I can melee without having to reach down towards the V button. But yeah, I restart games all the time, and I'm sure I'm not the only person who does that, but I like the concept of what could be over what I did when I had the chance all the time. I'm a dreamer. I've got a great imagination. That's one thing I'll say about me, so it leads to me thinking about what could have been as opposed to what is. It's also what makes me good at, a lot of nerdy culture things like D&D. That imagination helps think up things on the fly. I have a D&D game that I run, actually, with some cousins and some friends. that I'm sure we will discuss at some point. I have a couple different ideas for various series or videos that we can do for this channel. And one of them is kind of like a Fantasy Friday where, while I stream and play whatever game I'm playing that day, I can talk about D&D, what's going on in the campaign that I'm playing, and just, you know, essentially run ideas by you guys before I get to actually implement them in the game. Which, if my cousins ever find this channel, I'll have to stop doing so they don't know what's coming up. Either of these are great. Let's go back and turn this in. This first episode's probably going to be about 35 to 40 minutes long. We're going to end this one after we kill Ninetoes, who is the first boss of the game. He's not too difficult, but I said that last time, and when I tried to play the Enhanced Edition earlier today, I said that, and I died to him immediately. So, we'll see what happens, but I'm hoping it's not going to be that bad.
Just tell me if you need anything.
Alright, let's go meet TK.
That'll do for now.
So, I know I'm not going to get many videos on this this channel, or many views, not videos, on this channel early on. But if anyone does come across this and you have any specific games you would like me to play, I do have a very large catalog of games, and, you know, I'm an adult with a full-time job, so I can always purchase a game. If someone has a specific thing they'd like to see me play, yeah, we're gonna let them go. They'll come to us. For right now, though, like I said, I do have a plan to go through all of the shooters in this series. And then I have a plan to play Valorant as well. I'm going to play ranked Valorant and see how far I can get.
You should have seen the look on your face.
You know, I never understood. I assumed because of these glasses that he was blind. But, and I mean, there are like scratches along his face, which makes me think he's blind, but I actually don't know for sure if he is or not. So we're just picking up some food that got stolen by some skags. I don't know about you, but if I was sitting on my back porch and realized that a bunch of wild dogs had run away with some meat, I probably would not want it back. And even if I could get it back, I probably wouldn't eat it. But we're not TK, are we? I assume as these videos go along, I'm going to get better at, you know, the banter, the streaming, gonna get better at editing videos. So I hope you don't judge me off of these first couple videos, or if, you know, this isn't quite what you were looking for, maybe go look at some of the other videos I'm gonna have out there. If you find me very early on, I may not have much else on the lineup, but I do plan to have other series running. I want to upload 2, maybe 3 times a week if I can, which I know is actually kind of a lot, but I'm trying to make this kind of my big hobby. You know, everyone says you should have 3 hobbies. One that you do for fun, one that you do for health, and one you do to make a little extra money. So I have my health hobby. I like to walk. Actually, there's a nice little trail, like little park trail, right out back of my building. So I walk that. This is going to be one for my entertainment because I really doubt I'm going to make money off of this. And my hobby to make money I have yet to find. But I'm always on the lookout for something I can do on the side. I thought about even applying for like a part-time like weekend position at GameStop, because I actually worked at a GameStop for a year or 2 when I was in college, and I mean, any retail job is going to be kind of sucky. I'm going the wrong way. Any retail job is going to be sucky, but I have to say, getting to come in and talk to people about video games all day was kind of nice. Oh goodness, he is not dying at all. And it was kind of fulfilling too to talk to people about video games, because if you're a big gamer out there, you know that video games are much more than something that you just use to pass the time, right? I've had games that have made me cry. I've had games that have made me really feel emotions, rethink things in my own life. So getting to help other people find games that may be like that for them. Oh. Sorry, it's just an annoying way to have to sell everything in this. I forgot. I wish I could modify it so it just goes on one click. I'm going back to TK, that's right. But I have to like click it and then hit enter. It's a whole thing. Yeah, we all know that video games are much more than what some people make them out to be. A lot of people think of like what a gamer is, and they think of, you know, some guy in his 30s sitting in his mom's basement, acne still, severely overweight. I am not most of those things. The only thing I am is overweight. But we all know that gaming is much more than that. Alright, I'm gonna turn this in. That should be a level up. Not close. Alright. So we're coming up to the last quest here where we go kill Ninetoes. That'll be the end of part 1. Part 2 will probably go until we kill maybe Big Toe? Is that his name? I've actually forgotten his name. Oh well, we'll figure it out when we get to him. Not Big Toe. Boy. You would think that after I've killed him hundreds of times, I would remember his name. I can practice my Valorant flicks in this game. I really am getting into Valorant. I have an issue with competitive games where I get anxious to play online with other people, and it's not that I'm scared that, you know, not that I'm scared that I'm going to do bad or anything. I think mostly I'm scared that I'm going to let the other people in the game down, and especially games like Valorant or CSGO, where a match can be 30-40 minutes of your life because you're playing best of... it's like best of, what, 25, so you're playing to 13 in Valorant. You know, that can go relatively long. I don't want to be the person that's like bottom of the leaderboard, like 5-17 by the end of the game, and know that if we lost, it was, you know, partly because of me. At the same time, I am trying to get over that, which is specifically why I'm playing Valorant. I want to try to get over that. There are some games that I have played competitively and had a lot of success and fun in, mostly Rocket League. I was actually really good at Rocket League for a little while there in college. But Rocket League had a much more casual feel to it, and games were only 5 minutes, so maybe if there's a couple of goals, and you stop for a replay and to reset the field, it's maybe a 7 or 8 minute game, so even if I was really bad, it didn't feel like I was bringing anyone down. I like when this has a scope. Sometimes it has a scope. This time it does not. The reason for that is, I'll stop in a second to explain. Okay. Alright. The reason I like when this has a scope is if we look at the ladyfinger, and this is a great way to look at the guns and see the different stats you can see. So it's the ladyfinger, but if we look down under the red words there, we see 100% crit damage. What that means is crits already do double damage, so this is 100% more crit damage, so it's actually triple damage. And that's just one of the things you can find on guns is some increased critical hit damage. This gun is awesome early on because triple damage on 13 damage is, you know, it'll 2 or 3 shot most enemies in the head pretty quickly. So this is a phenomenal gun to pick up early and to hold on to until you have something that starts to outshine it. Usually once you find something that has roughly like 20 damage, because double 20 would be 40, triple 13 is 39, so you can see how your damage with the crit would be higher with that new gun that you would end up getting. Oh, and the other thing, we got to level 5, so we picked up an ability point. The first one has to be used on Scorpio Turret. Scorpio Turret is just a placeable turret that will fire at enemies while we continue to run around and shoot our guns. The reason we picked Roland is for this ability specifically. The other three are Mordecai, who has a bird that he throws out, and that bird attacks someone or attacks a couple guys if you put enough points into certain skill trees. Brick was the really big guy. He punches things, and Lilith goes invisible and then like hits someone and does some damage coming out of her invisibility. The reason I like Roland specifically is because his ability works while you still get to use your guns, because the point of this game is to pick up really, really powerful guns. And with Lilith and Brick, you know, you either start punching or you go invisible. You no longer have the ability to shoot those powerful guns.
About to face your first real challenge. I hope you've toughened up enough.
Even though those abilities are very strong, I just feel like it's a significant enough downgrade that I don't like either of them for the most part. That leaves Mordecai and Roland, and I just prefer Roland. I think his ability is just better. Oh, come on. Oh my goodness. This is the most inaccurate ladyfinger I've ever picked up. I'm going to let my shields replenish, and then Ninetoes is right ahead, and we're going to try to get him on the first try. My strategy with Ninetoes is to burn down his... he has two puppies, two skags that he will send out. I try to burn down them first, because I can line of sight Ninetoes behind the different pillars in here. And then if I do end up going down or dying, at least one of them is dead. I come back in, and now there's only one or another to deal with. But until he summons his dogs out here, I'm going to shoot him in the face. Okay. Oh, here comes him. Another thing with Roland is his turret is line of sight, so they have to be in front of him. It doesn't spin a full 360. So when you throw it down, you want to make sure you're fighting people in front of your turret and not behind it, because if you're fighting them behind the turret, you're not going to actually do anything. Right as he was opening his mouth, of course. Well, this was a relatively easy fight. Alright. So this is another modifier that guns can have. This is the Clipper. The Clipper always has an elemental fired onto it. So I'm actually going to put this on my other gun slot. And you can see it shoots fire, which does really good against health or red health bars specifically.
Alright, we got guns over here.
And then there is one more weapon cache in here. It's going to be up here. Always check every weapon cache that you can, because you never know when the game is going to drop you something awesome. Yeah, none of those are awesome, but they will sell for money. When I played this game one time, level 7, so not too far off from where we are now, I picked up a revolver, and it was a legendary revolver that had a crap ton of damage. I mean, it was one-shotting enemies till like level 17, 18, and even then I don't think I got rid of it until almost the end of the game. Which is like somewhere between level 25 and 30. So I had that gun for a very long time. But the cool thing about it was it had ammo regen as a stat, so every couple seconds it regenerated one of its ammo. And because it was a revolver, it fired kind of slowly. So it would actually regen ammo faster than it could fire, which means I never had to reload the gun ever, which was really cool. Alright, we're going to go get this turned in. And then that will be the end of this video, and I'll see you guys back here for part 2. Ouch. Right. I'm just going to let them chase me and let my turret do some damage. Oh, stop attacking the turret. Come after me. There we go. And I do have a skill point to assign. Now I'm just gonna... Alright, we're good. I have a skill point to assign, so we're going to go back once I get through the checkpoint here, because I just want to make sure the dogs aren't chasing me. We will stop the skags. I'm going to stop calling them dogs. I got to call them skags. We're going to figure out which tree we want to go down, because there's 3 different trees we can go down for rolling, 3 different skill trees that all have a capstone, and the capstone are these bottom 3 here. So we have infantry. This increases your Scorpio turret. Support, which also increases your Scorpio turret, but it doesn't increase the damage. It increases, like, it gives utility to your turret. And then over here we have the medic, so it helps heal you when your turret is out there. I think I want to go with Scorpio damage. That just seems like, I don't know, you don't have to regen ammo, you don't have to regen health if your enemies are dead, right? So I can increase the Scorpio's damage or my own damage. Let's start with Scorpio damage. So we're going to go down this tree, and then that'll end with my turret launching a missile every 8 seconds. That's going to be cool. We won't get there until level 21, I think, looking at that skill tree. I will showcase the cool shotgun we're about to get. It's a static drop. Static meaning that it's always going to be there. Most of the guns in this game are randomized, but some quest rewards are always static. They're always going to be what they are. And the shotgun we're going to get... Oh, we get the shotgun from... we get the shotgun from a later quest. My bad, guys. Yeah, we'll return to Zed before we end the video. There's a shotgun he gives. The shotgun is not good. I don't know, maybe I just don't know how to use it correctly. I don't think the shotgun is good at all, so I don't actually ever use it, but it has a really cool fire pattern that I wanted to show you guys. We'll get to that in the next video. So I guess I'll begin the outro here. I don't have a set outro to do. I'll just thank you guys for watching. I'm sure that I'm not the best YouTuber or the most entertaining you've ever come across, but if you guys wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button just to help my numbers get boosted up there, that would be great. I'm not doing this for the numbers, but it always feels nice to be appreciated, right? Alright, and we're going to end off with our next quest being to check the bounty board. Thank you guys, see you next time.